What's going on, guys? We have something pretty cool today because we're going to put the 2022 Street Glide ST against the 2022 Street Glide Special and see which one makes the most sense for you. Now, this bike comes in at 30 grand. This bike in vivid black, which is the starting point for Harley pricing, is going to be about 2,500 bucks cheaper. So, in this video, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison, do a breakdown of which bike comes with what, and try to figure out which one makes the most sense for you. Now, really quickly, before we jump into the video, I have to be that annoying YouTuber asking you to click the subscribe button only because the majority of people that continuously watch my videos, yes, YouTube does show us that, aren't subscribed. So that means you're coming back, you're continuing to watch the videos, you just haven't subscribed yet. That definitely does help me out in a lot of areas of YouTube. So if you don't mind, go ahead and do that for me. It would be greatly appreciated. Let's jump into the review. Try and give you guys a quick side-by-side walk-around comparison before we jump into the meat of the video. I will say I'm digging this combo, the black and red combo here between the two bikes. And apparently, the black Street Glide has turned into a meme, like guys that own black Street Glides. I'm starting to see videos about that, mostly on TikTok. If you've seen any, let me know. I love a black Street Glide. I don't take offense to those videos. I find them funny, but it's just weird the things this day and age that can turn into a meme. All right, guys, looking at these bikes from the front, you should notice something right off the bat. The biggest thing that should be sticking out right now are these front fenders. So your red Street Glide Special, very much that big wrapped style fender. Now, a lot of the guys that like the big wheel bagger look or what have you, they like those long swept front fenders. They may prefer that one. Guys like myself who like the performance bagger look, not just the performance aspects of the bike, but the way that those bikes look after they're set up, will probably prefer that much more low profile, smaller, more streamlined front fender. Yes, it's going to make more of a mess. When you're riding on wet roads or it's throwing up like sand, little things of gravel, whatnot, it's gonna make a bigger mess. But cosmetically, it looks a lot better, in my opinion. You're also gonna notice different color wheels. They are the same wheel. This is Harley's Prodigy wheel. This one is just that performance gold color that kind of ties in with some of the other gold accents on this bike. Whereas on this particular Special, it being the blacked out model, you get the blacked out Prodigy wheel. Both are gonna come with the Daymaker. Both are gonna come with that smaller, low profile engine guard. So on the front of the bike, the only difference is gonna be the color of the wheel and the front fender. Now, no sense in beating around the bush. Big difference here is gonna be the 117 Milwaukee 8 versus that 114 Milwaukee 8. Now, both of them high flow air cleaner. This one has that more aggressive styling on the air cleaner. So I haven't been able to spend any time on this bike yet as far as riding goes. I literally rode it from one side of the dealership to the other. I was curious though, because I've never ridden a bike with this elbow style air cleaner. So when I reach up for the brake, it's kind of hard to do without sitting on the bike. But so when I'm sitting on the bike, it kind of looks something like this. When I reach up for the brake, I do bump into it, but it's not like in the way. When I'm just cruising, my foot's down here, I've got a good bit of room. Whereas on your Street Glide Special, although it's a high flow air filter, it's just got a little rain sock on it, which can be removed. You do have a good bit more room for your leg. Although I do like the look of this air cleaner, I would probably prefer something a little more profile just to get it out of my way. But the question that you're asking, what is the performance difference? Harley won't put their horsepower numbers on their website. I don't understand why. They will list their torque. So on the ST model, the black one we're looking at here, 127 foot-pounds. On the red one, 118 foot-pounds. So not too bad out of the box difference on these two. Also, while we are right here, let's talk seats. So these seats have not been changed. That's your factory Street Glide seat. Comes on the Specials, comes on the Standards, comes on the Road Glide Specials, and the Road Glide Standards also comes on the Road King Special. You can tell I do a lot of reviews. This is the seat that they have chosen to put on the ST model. It's a solo seat. It's got a pretty aggressive hump there to keep you in the saddle. Now you can add a passenger pillion, or you can change it to a 2-up seat, as well as adding pegs, which the special model is going to come with, but you're going to have to do that on your own dime. Harley didn't include that. Now, if you're wondering why this seat looks like that, it's because I've messed it up and didn't fix it on the last video I did. But that's because I was looking on the seat here. Most of you know the Harley Davidsons come with this ugly little seat screw, whether it be a solo seat or a 2-up seat. It's got this Home Depot looking screw. You can change that out, but I mean, for this amount of money, come on, like I should get a little bit nicer looking screw in my opinion. And I noticed that this one didn't have one. So I was messing with this seat. If you lift it up here, it's kind of hard to see, but you have a screw on each side. It is knurled, so you can use your fingers to undo it, and that's how you get that seat off there, which I gotta give props to Harley. Getting that ugly seat screw, don't mind my fingerprints, messing with it on the last video. Like I said, I just did a full review on this bike. So if you really wanna know all the details, you can watch that. But point being, good job Harley for getting rid of that ugly Home Depot looking screw on the back of this bike. Now let's look at these tail sections. So as far as lighting goes, front end was the same, both had the Daymaker. Lighting is different. So your tail light and turn signals are going to be built into this one little housing here. Whereas on this one, you get this clear tail light and the amber turn signals. Now typically I'm a less is more. I like the cleaner look, so you would think this one, but for some reason, I don't know if it's the color combo or that clear lens or what it is, but I just really like the way this setup looks. I'm kind of leaning towards that one myself. You can let me know in the comments which ones you're feeling. And if you're worried about this, it's just 2-sided tape, so not hard to get off at all. I'm assuming it's just something legal that Harley has to do to be compliant, but don't worry, really easy to take off. Also on the back here, non-stretch saddlebags, whereas your special does have the stretched, which is also going to affect the look of the back of the bike. So I've got these bikes parked pretty close to the wall. It's a little hard for me to show you, but that's what it's gonna look like with the standard bags. Your stretch bags have this cutout. At this point, you guys know how I feel about that. Also, I should point out this little extra running light that hangs down off the fender. Not there on the ST model. I'm a fan of that, of it not being there. I mean, I do like the much cleaner look without that little extra light on the back. Now, those are the major differences in this bike. Now, one thing you may be wondering or asking why I didn't address is the ride height. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk specs, but I'm also going to ask for some information from you guys. Now, what I'm looking for on this seat height on your, here, we'll do it this way so it's a little bit easier. On your ST model is 26.7. On your specials, 26.1. Ground clearance on the ST is 5.3, while it's 4.9 on the special model. Running order weight will be 814 on the ST, while it's 827 on the special. Now, here's where I'm asking for your help. So the seat height is taller. The ground clearance is greater by about 1/2 inch. But Harley Davidson on their website has the right and left lean angle on both bikes listed exactly the same. Now this is where I need you, because I don't claim to know everything about Harley Davidson or everything about motorcycles. If the ground clearance is greater on the Street Glide and they're running the same kind of floorboards, all the same parts, so nothing should be like hanging down lower, you know, why is it that the lean angles are the same? Did Harley mess up on the website, or is there something I'm just not comprehending here? Please let me know down in the comments, and if that is the case, I'm just not understanding, I will pin your comment. Whoever leaves like the best comment, I will pin your comment to the top, because I gotta feel like I'm the only one. I can't be the only idiot that doesn't understand this. Any help with that would be much appreciated. Also, really quickly, before I went to move these bikes, I noticed that this special has docking hardware. This is something the dealership has put on this bike. This bike did not come with docking hardware. Just to make sure anybody that saw it, I want to clear up that confusion before it starts. The special is going to come set up like that. No docking hardware. I don't know why the dealership has put that on there. I've rallied for Harley to put it on there, because although it's only like 70 bucks to put it on there, anything you want to run on the back of these bikes, whether it be a backrest, a tour pack, a luggage rack, anything you want to mount on the back of the bike, that's how you're going to want to do it. So in my opinion, these bikes, these touring bikes, should start coming with that. Just wanted to address why this bike has docking hardware and clear up any confusion as to whether or not it comes with it. Okay, so we did the side-by-side comparison. Didn't take nearly as long as I thought. Although there are some big differences in these bikes, there's not a lot of differences. So, as I pointed out in the beginning, $2,500 difference if we were comparing black to black. However, we should point out this thing only comes in two colors, black and gunship gray. The Street Glide Special comes in like 90 colors. So if color's your thing, this probably isn't an option for you either way. As always, before I give you my pick, I'm very curious to know which bike you're choosing, but more than that, I want to know why you're choosing that bike, especially when at the end of the day, the pricing is pretty dang close. For me personally, I'm going to pay the $2,500 more bucks, and I'm going to go with the ST. Biggest reason being you're getting the 117 from the factory, so no one's here at the dealership with me while I'm recording this video. I can't run back and ask someone in parts, but I'm willing to guess it's going to cost you at least $2,500 bucks to bump this thing up to a 117 after you factor in parts and labor. The other big selling point for me, as you know, if you've watched this channel for any length of time, not a fan of the stretch bags. Now, I am a fan of the special model when you're comparing the Street Glide Special to the Street Glide Standard. I like all the things that this bike comes with. You get all of that on this. However, not a fan of the stretch bags. So, for me personally, I love the way this bike is set up in the rear. Also, not big on spending money on wheels personally, just a personal preference. I'd rather put my money somewhere else, although they're the same wheels, just like we pointed out. I do prefer the gold wheel. I think it looks a little better, and I'm a big fan of that front fender. Again, that's just personal preference. Now, as far as that lean angle thing that we were getting into, again, that's going to depend on what you guys tell me. I'm counting on you to let me know if Harley just messed up on their website or if I just don't understand what they were trying to do with this bike. But I do like the way that it sits. Regardless of lean angle, I like that the seat height is a little bit taller. If I bought this bike, I would personally switch it to a 2-up seat. I would put some passenger pegs, but I do like that it sits a little taller. That's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not already. Give the video a thumbs up if you made it this far, and I'll catch you in the next one.